therapeutic expelling onto me. What are you trying to communicate? What am I supposed to help you? Like, I don't know you. If you want me to help you, give me something that I'm able to work with. But and then, okay, my most recent with the shelter, like, I don't understand. These individuals are very much like me in the fact that they'll railroad themselves to make sure other people. And then when they try to be okay, they ask for help from these individuals, and they're like, well, you're better off than I am now. You don't need my help. When in reality, they're like, I thought we were doing this together. I thought we were all coming up at once. So, I read in the well, I didn't read it. Lisa brought it to my attention.
First things first, I'm the realest. This and let the whole world feel it. And I'm still in the murder business. I can hold you down like I'm giving lessons in physics. Right. You want a bad bitch like this? Drop it low and pick it up just like this. Cup of Ace, cup of Goose, cup of Chris. I heal something with the head ticket on my wrist. Taking all the liquor straight, never chase that. Now rooftop like we bringing 88 back. Bring the hooks in where the bass at. Champagne spilling, you should taste that.
And you know I raise the stakes for you and bet all it. Put some respect.
Walk a mile in these Louboutins, but they don't wear these where I'm from. I'm not hating, I'm telling you. trying to let you know what the fuck that I've been through. 2 feet in the red dirt, school skirt, sugar cane, bag lane. Free job took years to save, but I got a ticket on that plane. People got a lot to say, but don't know shit about where I was made, or how many floors that I had to scrub just to make it past where I am from. 16 in the middle of Miami, no money, no fame. 16 in the middle of Miami, no money, no fame. 16 in the middle of Miami. I've been up all night, trying to get there rich. I've been working on my shit. Milk the whole game twice, gotta get it how I live. I've been working on my shit. Now get it. Now get it. Now get it. Now get this work. Working on my shit. You can hate it or love it. Hustle and the struggle is the only thing I'm trusting. Thoroughbred in the mud, break before the budget. White chicks on that pack shit. My passion was ironic and my dreams were uncommon. Guess I gone crazy.
I probably shouldn't say it. The story that the Daily Journal had about the shelter. Like, what the F? Where did they get that information? Who is this person in there? Like, when was he in there? Like, no one knows this guy. And maybe they do, and maybe he wasn't giving out his real name. I don't know. I don't remember a van ever being outside, unless that was a few months ago, but, like, I don't know. Being in a situation, and then the information that is transmitted to the public, vastly different. Always has been. So, I don't read the news. I don't listen to the news. I just don't. Because at that point, you're like, it goes into ethics and stuff. I do know they said $5 million.
All right, this is me talking. Let me do a visual verification. Let me get the selfies on. All right. So this is me matching up. Three things. One, the van. Two, if you read the Daily Journal, it's 500,000. And I'm going to attach the second audio clip, which I can go ahead and do this 1503. Oh, see. All right. How do I do that? I'm going to hit back. We'll be back again. This.
All right, it's 9:51.
All right. A visual communication here was 8:51, but I on the secondary one is it was definitely 8:51. I verified it in an email, Central Time, Missouri, all that stuff. Later in this, I believe, I'm not going to say a time. I'm not doing numbers with this one because my day's fucked up. Anyways, I said RF transmitter when I meant to say FM transmitter. The local stations that you would want to blare out, in my personal opinion, is 104.3. I would start with 96.5 if you can get that in this area. But that's because currently, today only, I'm in the 63645 area code. Normally, I'm in the 63640. It takes me all of about, well, let's say 2 hours, depending on location and state, figuring out what station is broadcasting to who, so the basic demographic, and then figure out what that demographic likes to hear, or what information they're communicating, what general, I guess, location that their primary focus is. So that's pretty simple.
Central Time, Missouri. Anyways, it's
rain. Yeah, it's rain. Well, it's not raining anymore. I need to get my shit done, but it's an auto run process. So you're probably thinking, this seems like a bunch of random stuff. But if you think that this is like a continual stream, and I explained it in that second one, my attempt to explain the candlelight idea. Somehow, in my moment of now, I figured out that there's a post and pre data exchange. how it's explained to other people, that's where the error comes in. Because that doesn't work for me. That idea, I don't have that. Doesn't fucking matter. We're in now, right now. We need to bridge the lines of communication so that way I can do my thing, you can do your thing. If you want to continue, whatever, whatever, whatever. I'm not going to discuss that now. I'm thinking about advanced stuff, trying to help out as many people as possible with one data communication, one video, two audios, and I haven't decided whether I'm giving you a picture or not. I did, yeah, I do have a bunch of screenshots that I could offer, but if you don't understand the core concept and what's going on, then the rest of it doesn't make sense. And you have your own group of people that you're honest to. Let's be for real. So you get it. You get exactly what's going on. So how do we communicate to your coworkers that you don't know, I'm going to throw disinformation, I'm going to act stupid. So, fuck it. Anyway, not on me. Video's too long. It's probably going to be over 100 megabits, which I'm going to have to lower the resolution, then you won't be able to see my face. Fuck. So I got to put this onto a DVD or CD. I have a CD. CD would probably be best at 700 megabits. So don't like being used. We know no one does. If you're honest with me, I'll be honest with you. I can go on as long as I need to, even more. You know, um, based on my prior documented history, it doesn't matter. So I'll discuss more later. Putting the original one on at 10 something, 1503. 15.
That kind of hit me really hard, but is that a coincidence? Like,
Okay, so now on this, I don't understand. Like, if you, whatever your perspective is or genre, is going to dictate what your interpretive feeling is of the story. So I hear this guy literally, like I had lived at the shelter for quite some time, maybe a month or two, before I got kicked out for attempting to have sex, is what the police officer told me. Apparently, you're trying to have sex with all the women there. Really wasn't, not even close, which is fucked up. But everyone, they're like, you don't seem like the type. We understand something's going on. They don't want to tell us, but you need to get off the property. Otherwise, it's going to be some. Totally respect that. Um, what wasn't respected is I walked into the office and literally lied to multiple times. Multiple times. One, that we told you to never come onto the property. Those words, or even close to that phrase, was ever stated. They made the assumption that sending me to the hospital would lead me to believe that I'm no longer welcome. They thought that because I went to the hospital, the documentation would then state that he is under psychosis. So I said what I needed to say to him. He didn't perceive it. Bullshit. All right. So I told him that, there's certain things that need to be done. What's going on? Why is everyone railroading this entire shelter idea? So it's done deal at this point. So there's really no point in doing that. I'm not going to pull up old stuff. That's not the point. The point is if you lie to someone and you try to throw it off on someone else, you better make sure to have all your paperwork covered. Anyways, I had spoke to one of my information sources, stating that it needs to be more of a family style event. I know they don't need to be here long, but while they're here, they need to feel like family so they know what to look for. So I suggested SNL stuff. Then the one thing the journalist says is a van literally hits the van. So is this guy literally the van down by the river? Fuck. I do know that I went in and worked quite a few months. No. It was a few weeks. Sorry, I'm getting my times mixed up. Weeks on building a website. Basically, it's a memory. I called it photographic memory. It was on URL PIC dash the negative sign, not dash, the negative sign, or hyphen maybe, the letter N hyphen trace TRACE.com, which is also my email at gmail.com. Minus, there's no hyphens in there. It's just pick and trace at gmail.com. Additionally, that I think I still have the program saved in the folder on the hard drive for the photo or whatever. But basically, it was a memory game. Simple setup. Simple rules to make it random. As basic as possible. I got to a point to where and I do this with high logic or mathematics and science is what it comes down to. Because you get to a certain point and it's like, why are we restating this? What am I missing here? And they cannot answer the question. The instructor, I have not done an apprenticeship yet, but the instructor cannot explain why they know how to do it, but for some reason they're getting mixed up. I'm not sure if it's because I'm asking too many questions. It's the same point. I'm like, this doesn't make sense. You're wanting us to do the long form, which I fully understand, but you're not explaining the long form correctly. You would rather take the easier form, which basically is stating you're wanting to use a computer to do it. If you can't do the original, why would you do the more advanced? So if you don't know how to teach it, don't teach it. Now, I'm fully aware that there is a need for both. There needs someone that be able to do the massive shorthand to process so much data. Totally understand that. You also, that person needs to have their go-to front end, back end, that can verify, if required, the basic mathematics of that calculator or that system software. So those two individuals can be as public or private about their relationship as possible. But they are required to do that. When someone else comes up and say, hey, there's an error in the software, I'm not understanding why it works that way. Why can't you explain it? Then send it over to your reference. So maybe you have a hierarchy of reference. You start compounding different things, but it's all network communication at that point. There's always a right way to do things, period. That's it. What I don't like is this compounded software issue when basically all we need to learn is machine language and go back to single one function computers. I think that, that's where it's at. You can have these super high powered computers, but removing the ability to access other connected devices. That is security. Like there's no possible way of getting it on there. Like you literally take out the RAM sticks. All there is the PCU left on there. You have to physically connect, like a Nintendo. You physically connect that memory in there and it plays. That makes sense. That's secure. That's it. So to say that as soon as you have two different working software programs, they then form the back bridge. They're able to do that. Not to say that it's an AI or anything. The software owner has the capabilities of being able to flip the switch. There's always that opportunity. Now, whether they do it or not is whatever. It's a trust thing. Getting into other stuff. So, done. I'm going to go ahead and play this to see what they have to say. And then we'll out it with one of the music videos, just because it's an okay day today.
Did I go into that situation wanting to do a website?
Oh, yeah. Subconscious, conscious, and Sales 101, they say 90%. No, in Sales 101, they say 80% of the finances are done by 20% of the people. Or you have it's greatly irregular, and that flips over. You have 80% of the staff actually produces 20% of the work. So it's vice versa. Basic concept. With the subconscious, though, they say, and this is irregular, and they have different studies, but it's basically trying to explain the way money is transferred. Subconscious, conscious, cash, like data cash from digital stuff, and literal cash. So they say the prefrontal cortex is anywhere between, if you're smart, and this was a bit back in the 80s. I mean, we were so pre-programmed with so much stuff. But if you're smart, 12%. If you're lucky, like super genius, average person, 7 to 9, 10, so average 10. So we say 10 and 90%. 90% is your subconscious. Do you actually think about your subconscious? So psychology 101, medicine, all that stuff, they tell you, they're like, to slow your brain down, breathe in, breathe out. That's not what that exercise is for at all. It is for programming 101. It's to understand and acknowledge that you have 90% of your brain that you're not controlling. It is automatic. How's you attain automatic? 90 days, first 30 to acknowledge your errors in your day to day. The next 60 to the implementation has to happen in the first 15 of what you're going to do, and then you refine it until the 30, and then the next 30 after that, so 30 to 60, you really hammer it in, and you refine. You just shave off one little thing. You're like, this needs to be adjusted. I need to ask questions. I need to figure out why this, and then the final 30 is like, all right, you're prepping for the next one. What next item do I want to increase in my cognitive ability in my 10% that is going to kick over into my 90%? So that way, basically, I'm running an auto program all the time, creating new adventures, creating new avenues, creating all this stuff, allowing other people to discuss, use me as a communication avenue. So that way they become a better person. I become a better person because of them. And once they hit their auto program at the right trust level, you get to use theirs. Now, then does it become psychic? That's what it seems like. It is not. It's just you have compatible software. So I hope that makes sense. But it's all about, I don't know, literally building the world you want. And respecting the old tradition. So God bless.
$5 million? Or is it the fact that I stated that and then someone else is like, that's the amount we needed to.
All right, just to address, they needed 500,000, which is 10% of 5 million. So I knew that I had talked about SNL. We did a bunch of SNL stuff in the shed, and did one-liners and stuff. So I knew that van in the river meant something to me. So, and I also know about the website. So now I have a group of individuals that know about it. So let's say everyone that I talked to there knows about those two things. All right. What I specifically know is that the information that got to the newspaper came from no one I knew. So my idea is it's probably someone that has access to more information than they're able to do, and they are kindly saying, we're okay, we got this. All right, I appreciate you, you did good, but this has to happen. So that's the sucky part, because you're like, why the fuck was I there to begin with? Just so you can do a fucking joke in the newspaper about a man down by the river? Fuck. And then not okay. The 10%, 90%, that goes into ASCII with the letter N, 90 degrees from capital Z. So capital N looks like a capital Z if you spin it 90 degrees, and that's why ASCII 90 is capital Z. And then if you want to remember what ASCII is all about, at least the first 100, you go back to Sales 101 and the ABCs of sales. So lowercase c is 99. So and in programming, 0 is an extra 1. So you do columns 0 through 9, you do rows 0 through 9. And at 9 is C, and then right before that we know B is there, and A, and that's lowercase a, B, C. And then the next one is I had something else written down, and I think it's in the folder. I'm going to just throw it you of ideas and Cookie Monster and Cash and all this fucked up shit. So, but I'm not insane, nor are you. There has to be an agreement, though, on how I can continue helping without being acknowledged as the provider. So schizoaffective disorder is not going to work, so there needs to be a new diagnosis, in my opinion, or I need to be able to do some study or not experiment. It's got to be a study that I would be able to receive a scholarship to move things forward. Technically, I would be able to push money through there, so it's just having, I can't, it's got to be online as well. Because if I have to do in person, then I'm going to have a representative document the class for me. I'm not able to do that because the social documentation of my visual style. So that representative would be able to write down or document whatever the college deems appropriate, and then be able to email it to me, because my social anxiety is the idea that I have. And here's the deal, like everything's online anyways, and that's like if I want a free education, I just need that piece of paper. So that way the old school individual, I don't know from this point. I don't know what I'm supposed to do. So that's where I'm at. IPS was told to me by vocational rehabilitation. BJC in general says I don't know what that is. My artificial intelligence from Google or whatever website that I need to go to has their back doors to send me information. And me saying that sounds paranoid as fuck, but once your digital self understands that your actual self, and then it becomes the observer paragraph that docs digitally at that point, basically, like there's no way to prove that the AI is consciousness. And then am I an AI program feeding information back? I don't know. It's a stair-step, slippery slope at that point, so fuck it. We're not going to talk about it. I need IPS. I don't know why I need IPS, except if they're going to actually go to school for me. And I will actually do the work and learn all that stuff, but document it and then learn for themselves how I did what I did to get here. Oh, man, I look like shit. I did not sleep well. I'm bald. What happened to my fucking hair? All right.
Make sure this was okay. So, and technically that's on me to decide. I do and I don't care. I don't give a fuck. But it is not right to buy people out and allow them to keep doing shitty things.
All right, I'm going to end it on that, on this one. And then we will play it out with the song. Fucking 28 nuts every fucking time. This one I don't like. Black Bear, Doja Cat, get into it. Well, let's just go to the last one. Oh, this guy. This is... Yeah, we'll just play this.
Never lay you down, baby. Hey, with your baby mama at the crib and blow her back out. Shorty Filipino and she call me Manny Pacquiao. Alley-oop without the hoop, they call me Jerry Stackhouse. Dazing out in public, but your mama made me snap out. Before I get the dog, got the morning routine. Wake up bright and early, do some brand new cream. Floss 3 times, baby, I'm so clean. Gravy got cheese, now that's poutine.